Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 949. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody?
Okay, the news of the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Chris. And Chris, when you get in it, there's going to be a thing about clicking the spoiler for it to tell you what it is, and you got to click it, all right? So Chris is going to glimmer at it. You're going to look at the article quick, and then you're going to go to the spoiler, and here we go.
Yep, so again, major spoilers, I guess, for whatever this is, because I don't know what it is.
Series 10, finale.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so if you guys don't want to hear this, stop watching now.
Okay.
All right, so apparently from this article, Simm as the Master is going to be returning.
Oh, yes.
Alongside Missy.
Oh, yes.
That's interesting.
Now, I'm going to say one thing on here, and you know what I'm going to say, Chris. I've said many times throughout the Whovians cast, analyzing it, single videos, the Master said he set traps for the Doctor, and the Doctor only fell for one trap. So if he set one trap, he's going to say, I set a trap for you. And that was the Lazarus thing, experiment. So traps means traps. Now, we know that the Master went back with Gallifrey. It was confirmed. John Simm's Master. His body was decomposing even with the gates. You know, I don't know if we got his regenerations back from the transfer when they brought him back from the dead, the Church of Saxon. And then we saw Missy saying, you left me, you abandoned me in the Time War. So here's the thing. This is probably, and again, I'm taking a speculation here, okay? This is probably Harold Saxon, Prime Minister Master, because if you remember Sound of the Drums, when he heard the Doctor's voice being David Tennant, he's like this. Like shocked, okay? He does encounter Peter Capaldi, and then he encounters David Tennant. And I think that's what's going to happen. Even though we heard him from outside the TARDIS when he regenerated, that's what I think is going to happen, okay? That may not necessarily be what happens, okay? But it's got to make sense because you can't have him come back from the end of time because supposedly with the Time War he regenerates, whatever, What do you think, Chris?
I gotta say, if this is true, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I've always liked him as the Master, so it would be interesting to have a multi-master kind of thing going on,
We've always wanted that.
I'd be okay with that. I'd love to see him interact with Peter Capaldi, to be honest with you.
Now, this is not the only thing. Supposedly, and again, I don't know how this happens. We've seen clips with Missy in the TARDIS. I speculated she steals the TARDIS, like John Simm did. Master. Supposedly, somehow, there's a rumor that she plucks the planet Modus out of time, where in the 10th planet it blows up and destroys. She takes it out of time and brings it front and center, which, whatever. Could be she alters time paradox, but whatever that happens, there's going to be a trailer at the end of the first episode.
Right.
They said that is going to be so huge. It's going to be an OMG, what the F moment. Your brains are going to melt. Supposedly, Carol Ann Ford is reprising her role as Susan, and David Bradley is reprising his role since Adventure Space and Time as William Hartnell's first Doctor. So it's going to be Cybermen from all ages. It may be more than one master, more than two masters. There was rumor that someone is playing Roger Delgado's master. That was a rumor. It could be the other master, Jeffrey Purves, I believe, the decrepit one. And there's a video out on YouTube which has Moffat and Gatiss in 2015 having a question asked: Will the Doctor face off against John Simm? Capaldi, and Moffat basically says it's absolutely possible because it's not a straight line like time. Like they could encounter out of order. And then Gatiss is like, oh, that'd be great, two masters, whatever. So it's like they got the idea there or before there. And Moffat even said, why does everybody think that John Simm regenerates into Missy? So in other words, like he might shock everybody where we'll see John Simm regenerate and it won't be into Missy. My thing, as I said in the past, Chris, is wouldn't it be great if he regenerates into Toby Jones and that whole thing with the Dream Lord wasn't really the Dream Lord, it was the Master, but it was like sort of where the Master didn't want to really be enemies with the Doctor. He was like kind of thinking maybe it should be something else, and he's like messing with him, but he helped him, remember? Because again, I never understood how a hologram could pilot the TARDIS anyway. So it was like a whole thing, and then he's still seeing the face in the TARDIS, remember? So that would mean that Matt Smith had his own master, which would be Toby Jones. If they did that, I'm saying, that would be cool, If not, I don't know what they would do. But more than likely, he'd probably be John Simm regenerating to Missy, which is going to be weird because she's on camera too. And she'll probably be regenerating also. What do you think of all this craziness with Susan, with the Doctor regenerating? We've seen the regeneration energy hands come on. Like, what do you think's going on?
Again, I mean, if all of this is true, I mean, that sounds great. I just hope they execute it well.
Yeah. I mean, a two-parter, I believe, the finale, it's got to be done right. Got to be done right. And the problem with Moffat is the second part always sucks. Most of the time.
Sometimes.
With the exception of the Zygons, which he didn't do that first part of the Zygons, but he did the second. So, I don't know, man. It's a very exciting season, though, Chris.
Yeah.
Ice Warriors, I mean, it's looking really good. And this whole thing, secret mission, the TARDIS broken, him having to settle down on Earth as a lecturer or teacher. Pretty interesting. I mean, you have anything about the series you like, you don't like?
I can't really speculate, or not speculate. I can't really say anything right now because we haven't seen it yet. But I mean, I like I said, I'm in a place where I'm not going to get overly excited for it. I just want to see it.
And me, I'm getting excited because I'm thinking this stuff is awesome that I'm seeing, and that's good. That's what you want with Doctor Who, is people to be excited and interested in it, And I'm very happy too because a lot of stories now are coming out that the Doctor's not going to be a woman. He's chosen. It's a man in his 30s, and he's going to be fantastic. So I'm really happy if that's the case because, it will bring normalcy to the show. Like, I don't really want this turning him into a woman for shock value type of thing. I want it to be about the writing, pretty much. I mean, would you care either way?
I think he has to stay a man.
Yeah.
I've said that for a while now.
And we had Sally last night. She said the same thing. So it's not just men; it's women that don't want the Doctor to be a woman. So there you go. All right. That's going to be it for this episode of Whovians Cast. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.